What up, people? It's your boy, Master Chudy out here with another Final Space review. So here we got episode 9, and it definitely felt like the penultimate to the finale, even though we got 3 more episodes left from here on out. But let's get into it. Clearly, Invictus is not pleased. It starts off pretty much with Invictus showing ire for Lord Commander, believing that confidence was misplaced in Lord Commander, and he begins torturing him like, you know, Lord Sidious was doing to Count Dooku in the Clone Wars, if we want to get examples in. So, Lord Commander's like saying, "Hey, I don't know. Mooncake is with the Gary, and I don't know where he is. I can't find him." And he's like, and the Victus Prima says, "I have my presence within Ash. I will track him down. We can track him down with her." And it's clear that Ash is still under the control, or not really under control, but her essence is pretty much a tracking system for Lord Commander and Invictus. So, pretty much it ends up with the whole. After all of that, the team squad basically makes it to Earth, where Kevin Van Newton's like saying, "Hey, everything's ready. The preparations are done. The preparations are set. Here we go." So they enter, and they find out that the whole thing is being done, and then it's found out that hey, Kevin Van Newton says that, "Hey, pretty much everything's ready, but I need somebody on the outside to activate a." Basically, it's a gateway, so somebody has to activate the other side of the door, and we're gonna need somebody. And Team Squad is like saying, "Hey, everybody we know is dead. All of our friends are dead." But Ash says that, "Hey, Clarence is still alive. Is Clarence still out there? Let's talk to him." Gary is against it. Everybody is against it, and Ash is like saying that, "Hey." I mean, I thought she was initially going to say that, "Hey, I forgave you. Let's forgive him," but she pretty much says that, "Hey, look, um, he's the only one who can do it, and he deserves to know what happened to Fox." And so Clarence is like, "Hmm." So Gary acquiesces and said, "Yeah, fine." And plus, they only have enough energy for one transmission. So Clarence. We fast forward to Clarence, and we find out that he's on this junk planet, which he owns, basically, wallowing in misery for the actions he took in the last season, where he pretty much betrayed them and gave the dimensional keys to Cheryl, which ironically, she is now working with. She is a member of Team Squad, but basically, one of his drones says that, "Hey, there's a message for you." At first, he doesn't want to hear it because he feels like he's thrown away everything, but the drone pretty much plays it for him anyway. And here we go. Here we go. We have basically Ash telling them that, "Hey, we need your help." Um, and he's surprised to see her, and he should be much say, "Hey, Fox is dead." And of course, Clarence breaks down because we know that he never really attempted to hurt Fox the first time he did, and was remorseful when he did it. But of course, he had to suffer the consequences for his actions. And then Ash says that, "Hey, if you have any shred of decency, you'll help us open the portal." And he's like saying, "Oh, you want me to help you?" Because he was surprised that he still has any use. So he's like saying, "Okay, I'll do it." But as the drone mentions, after transmission is done, the whole galaxy heard it, and so that's no concern of Clarence. And so he pretty much forsakes all of his goods to go to an ice planet where they can open the gate. But as it was mentioned, everybody in the galaxy heard it. So we hear Hush Fluffles basically hear it, and he's on his way to that planet as well. Um, basically, Clarence makes it to the planet, and then he's confronted by Hush Fluffles, who's basically saying that, "Hey, I can't let you do that. I won't let you help Gary." And they are having this bit of a standoff, but then we see the appearance of a bunch of other people come in. Like after he comes in, we see the De Winters, and after the De Winters, we see Time Swap Sammy. We also after times because the De Winters don't want Gary to come back. Time Swap Sammy doesn't want Gary to come back because he apparently lost his job, which is I have to say that was kind of weak on their part because I felt that Time Swap Sammy could have had so much potential to be a greater character and all of that type of stuff. But that's neither here nor there. We see the queen that Clarence married wanting a divorce that will only be signed with his blood. So yeah. Then we see the evil Kevins that he had with him, and then who tried to kill Clarence in season 2. So they want him. And then of course we see Clarence's four-armed friend, many armed friend. So it evolves into a battle royale. Time Swap Sammy is killed unceremoniously. That's something. The De Winters, Mr. De Winter, and that Squid Queen, they end up having the hots for each other, so they all end up getting married. Um, the real battle is against Clarence and Hushfluffles. And we see that the evil Kevin is destroyed as well, but we'll get into that later. And Clarence, through distraction, tries to go in, but Hushfluffles shoots him twice, and he's like saying, "I'm not going to let you do that." And then a Kevin bot stabs him through the chest, through the back, and he's on the verge of dying. And Clarence gives him an epiphany, like saying that, "Hey, man, you can't live beyond your hate," and all of that type of stuff. And we see that it's like I used to have that problem too, and I lost everything. I betrayed people, and I'm better than that. And if your loved ones saw you the way you are, they'd probably be ashamed. And you see we see Hushfuffles, aka Tom, start crying, and Clarence is about to make it to press the button to activate his side of the door, but we see that Tom kills him. But gives the final shot, and he gives like say, "Hey, I'm not sorry for about you. I'm not killing you, but I'm killing Gary because I don't want him to come back." And so he's like, and he feels like a piece of that. Clarence's redemption and Tom and Hushfluffle's non-redemption, give two parallels where Hushfluffles couldn't see anything past getting revenge on Gary for the death of his family, the destruction of Earth, and everything like that. But Clarence does activate the door, and Clarence dying was kind of a shame. It was it was heartfelt. He definitely redeemed himself. Um, Back to Earth and Final Space, we find out that tremors have been happening because the Earth is pretty much going to implode. Crack from the inside open in 4 hours. Um, we see that Tribor and Quastanotro come back. Their side plot is that they've been leading freed people from Final Space. They're on Earth, and pretty much, Kevin said, "Okay, Clarence did his job on his end. Now we got to open us." And thankfully, they make a joke about the tension where Gary and Quinn are trying to decide who presses the button, and Kevin thankfully just presses the button. So the gate out of Final Space is open at last, and we see everybody celebrating, and we see all the people that and Tribor and Cosinocho are freeing from Final Space, leave Final Space. So that's that. But then Kevin Van Newton, they find out, or at least Quinn notices that, hey, what's this? And the Kevin net, basically, which is supposedly like a suit of armor, as Iron Man would say, would enclose the Earth and pretty much protect the Earth against Titans, having the ability to kill Titans. And Quinn gets the idea, saying that, hey, we can't go back to Earth, and we have to kill the Titans. And Gary's like, well, why? we are here. We came here to take you, get you out, and go home. And Cheryl is like, yeah, we are here. Let's get out of here. But she's like saying that what's going to happen next? What are we going to do once we get back? That's going to stop Invictus from eventually coming and doing what he does. We have to stop them here. And so, I guess Gary, who opens his sleeve, and lo and behold, he is also experiencing final space poisoning. Though not to the extent that Quinn was getting it, at least not yet. But he decides to stay, and so the whole team squad, as a result, decide to stay as well. And Kevin Van Newton can't believe his ears hearing that. Oh, you're all gonna stay? Like, why? But then, of course, at the last minute, the Lord Commander has arrived to pretty much take Mooncake for Invictus, and that's the end of that episode. Um, this episode was enjoyable, but I'd have to say it is kind of the weaker of the episodes I've seen so far. It doesn't carry that amount of punch because a lot of things are wrapped up very quickly, which makes me fear for the show's future. But I will leave that off for another time. Other than that, this is the third episode in a row that we see no Biscuit. We don't know where he is, but the episode itself was very solid. I enjoyed it very much. So, um, Clarence's redemption was well handled. It was very nice. Um, yeah, I just like the time swap Sammy killing. It's just like, let's get rid of all this, have these characters here, and just, this is how we get rid of them. It's kind of especially for time swap Sammy, because he's a time traveler. You would think that he would have more to give, but it is what it is. Nothing you can do about that. Um, but yeah, this is definitely like the penultimate to a 3-part finale, which definitely seems like the last 3 episodes will be. So I'll give this episode an 8 out of 10. So thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications to make sure you're notified. Comment below and tell me what you think of this episode. Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to discuss Final Space, a great show as it is, and get your view on it. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope to have more videos up when I can. Peace.